She who thrives. Phoenix rising. The true me. The ups and downs crazier life. So take this journey with me. She who thrives. Yeah. Good morning, sunshines, and welcome to a podcast, She Who Thrives, a podcast about women who have faced different adversities in life and overcome them and became successful in their own rights. And today, just to let you guys know that this is virtual. I am doing my first virtual interview with Judi Rentas, and she's in my hometown, Chicago. Yay! So right now she's cold and I'm hot. So this is the first time us doing it. So that's kind of weird for me because I don't like looking at myself. So I could see myself in the camera and I see her too. But anyways, I might get distracted, be like, oh my God, that's a weird angle. But anyways, we're here to talk with Judi Rentas, and I wanted to bring her on because there's a specific question that I have to ask you. And I have not asked you, but I'm going to ask her on camera. I see you doing so many things, but besides that, because we'll get into all of that, how are you staying so happy all the time and so positive?
I love that. Thank you so much. I don't know what it is. Honestly, it's literally all God because it's like you gotta like be positive in everything you do. Like even though the weather's negative, I'm still gonna be positive. Okay.
All right. So do you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Yes. So hello everyone. I am so excited to be here, Janelle, and my name is Judi Rentas, and I'm a little hot, so excuse me. I'm like but I am actually a licensed realtor in the state of Illinois. I am a mother. I am a fiancé. And I've been doing this for 5 years. I love what I do. My most important title is being called mom. And I guess that's what really helps with being positive, all the time, because I got two little girls literally watching what I'm doing. So I got to lead by example.
Yeah.
So in the back of my head all the time, I'm like, I could either show them that mommy's tired, that mommy's working hard, or I can show mommy's doing everything with a smile and being positive, because literally it's all about positivity and gratitude, right? So
Right.
I'm just trying to raise young little queens.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that because I always say, I don't have any biological kids, but I have a lot of nephews and nieces and my friends' kids that, they do look up to me and they see what I do and they get encouraged by the things that I do. So that's what keeps me running and that keeps me motivated to keep on doing what I'm doing because believe me, girl, I wanted to give up a long time ago. So
Oh,
it's awesome that you say that because not everyone thinks that way. Not everybody thinks that way. And you did say, you're a licensed real estate agent in the state of Illinois. And what made you do that? What made you get into real estate?
honestly, this is crazy. Okay, my story is this. Like originally, I wanted to get into nursing, right? And that was something I wanted to be. Long story short, my dad he got diagnosed with cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and my fiance, his mother is my managing broker, and he would tell me you should get into real estate. You're really good at sales, and because at the time I was working at AT&T and doing all the sales stuff, but in school to become a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, my dad ended up passing away, and like mentally, I was like, I cannot get into the medical field. I will be a terrible nurse. And it's hilarious because I would fight this man and say, I've been working to do this and you're not going to tell me what I shouldn't be. But I listened and the rest is history. But I got into real estate and it's been 5 years now and I love it. I completely love it. I would have been a miserable nurse. Like if you would have had a boo-boo, I would have been crying for you. Like,
Oh my God.
and I've always been the top salesperson in whatever company I worked with. Like I'm really good with sales, but in
Mm-hmm.
order to be good in sales, you got to be good with people,
Yeah.
and I love meeting people, making great connections. Like it makes me feel fulfilled, honestly. So That's how I got into it.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. Like I didn't know you were going for nursing. So that's weird. That's amazing. That you went completely different route. Like a different, completely different route. It's just yeah, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. Did you do it before he passed or it was after he had passed?
It was after. It was
Mm,
after. And if I'm being honest, like the whole experience, I remember like learning about cancer. I was in bio 227. Girl, I was like breaking down crying because it's like I was dealing with this.
yeah.
And he was diagnosed with cancer. So I gotta go home to reality, right? So I was a nervous wreck. I graduated, but I didn't move forward into actual nursing school.
Mm-hmm.
So after I had gotten my degree, I was pregnant too. I was pregnant too. And I literally went from wanting to be a nurse and then just went straight into it. And then I never looked back.
Oh
So,
wow. It's a
yes.
complete, yeah, it's completely different. But I'm happy that you found that and you're actually excelling in it because you're constantly, I see clear to close, and all this is so, yeah. It's so cool. And, I'm sure you know a lot of personal people's life. I mean, lives of the personal lives of so many people and stuff like that. And I felt bad when I was going through my stuff with you, because I was there. I was there to purchase real estate with you, rental property out there in Chicago, and that was one of my goals, which is still one of my goals. And because of the divorce, we had to just stop it and let go of that building. I still look at that building sometimes, right?
I know. I was so, but you know what? I know. I was so sad, like going through it. But girl, you are a warrior because look what you did. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Because next thing you know, your book, boom, and then this podcast, boom. You're doing so amazing. So everything happens for a reason. It didn't work out, but that's okay because I am so proud of you, Janelle. Like that's all I
Thank
have
you.
to say.
So, a little history here. So, she and I have never met in person, but her sister is, you can say, my ex sister in law now, but I say sister in law. We still say sister in law. So, she shares a sister with my ex husband. So, my sister in law, Judy, is my sister's sister in law from the same dad. And then my sister in law, my ex husband is, that's her sibling through their mom. So that's how Judy and I met, but we did it to go through a real estate transaction, and she was helping me get a multi-unit and stuff like that. And right when we already did inspection and everything and whatever, and then we couldn't do it because my attorney advised me against it. And so that way I can go through the divorce. And, honestly, thankfully I did because I had to let that go. And then I was going through that process of, I started spending money, girl, going out and doing all crazy stuff and spending money, like whatever. I bought me my brand new car and all that stuff or whatever. But I felt, you when I went ahead and had to cancel and I told you what I was going, you didn't make me feel bad at all. And there's some people probably would have done that. And I appreciate that so much because I felt so horrible. But yeah, I think about it like multi-units, one thing. I just got my house. I don't know if you've seen that. Yay, thank
That is
you.
beautiful.
Thank you, thank
Congratulations.
you. So I just got my house. So then the next project is I'm teeter-tottering between commercial property here for my business or doing the multi-unit in Chicago. So it's gonna happen. Putting it out there, multi-unit's gonna happen. We just don't know when it's gonna happen. Because I gotta furnish this beautiful house.
It's one.
So, what there's many women and many people that go into the industry, being a real estate agent to sell because their thought process is, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna make a shitload of money because you know that mentality. So do you want to break it down with the how it is in the real estate world and how you have to make sure you go out there and hustle. You have that hustler mentality. So do you want to speak on that?
Absolutely. One thing about real estate is that a lot of people think it's easy, right? It's not. You only see like the clear to close. You don't see like, what it is to actually be on the field. With me, it's more like, how can I stand out, right? Because business doesn't fall in my lap. I have to go out and get it,
Mm-hmm.
And this is more of it's literally 70% referral, but 30% you got to go out there and get it. Like, that's how I view it.
Mm-hmm.
I will door knock. I'll get referred from like people from Facebook. That's what I would do. I will wake up early. I literally want to make sure that I'm giving each and every client like the feeling of how do I say it, like I want to bring a sense of calm, but also put them in position to win.
Yeah.
And every single one of my clients that I have ever closed on year to date, like they always reach out to me like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because one thing I'm not going to do is try to make you jump on the first thing that you see. I
Right.
want to give you the options. I want to put things into light. And it's not just me doing it. It's me and my fiance, because he has his own need a hand business, which is like, he's got his handyman business, but he also reviews the inspection report with our clients because he wants to make sure that if he says, okay, there's a sinking hole in the backyard,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say put a rug over it or get
Right.
landscaping advice that you pull out, because this is a big investment and people trust you. I've seen a lot of the times where like agents are just trying to get a
Mm-hmm.
quick sale, let's go. That's the worst. I don't do that. I've worked with clients where they're not ready, but I like to get them there.
Yeah.
And I've worked with clients like who took like a year and a half, 2 years to look for something, and that's okay because it's not on my timeline when I'm trying to get paid. It's whatever's best for their timing. And I think if you practice like selflessness, because this is not just about a sale,
Mm-hmm.
um, you'll do well, right? And real estate, and I'm sure like with the tax industry too, and everything, it's all about building relationships with people.
Mm-hmm.
That's priority for me, because at the end of the day, like I can sit here and be, want to be more sales driven, but I'm not. I'm more hustle driven. But at the same time, I want to make sure I'm looking out for my clients and then putting them in position to win. Like that's literally my logo.
Yeah.
Because if they're not winning, how do I look?
Right.
So that's just my philosophy. You gotta wake up early. You gotta do everything that the next person's not, because you just can't sit around like, oh, I'm gonna get a listing or a buyer. You gotta go out. You gotta go out and get it, and you
Mm-hmm.
gotta make a name for yourself. And it's just been a blessing to be able to do this. And my mother-in-law, she's my managing broker. So it's amazing to have like a woman who can actually teach you the ropes,
Yeah.
because I've been in this industry 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in the industry like 20 plus years,
Oh, wow.
So yes, and it's not like it's I like to call it a boutique, brokerage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not the big brokerage where they're like, oh my God, we got so many clients, I'm too busy to take on all these people. It's no, I'm never gonna bite off more than I can chew, number one. But I like to give each and every one of my clients my undivided attention. So
That's
that's
awesome.
really, yeah.
So how many
Thank you.
clients do you work with at a time then?
Mm. I want, you know what? Like, I I would like to say like 6, 7 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's too much, like I don't make it where it's like too much for me. I don't want to do it, because then we talk about burnout.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would rather have peace of mind than trying to like,
Yeah.
I don't like doing that. So I think for me, like at a time 7, because there's 7 days out the week,
That
no
makes
days off.
sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But that makes sense though. Um,
Yes.
one thing I did like to when I don't know when it was. I know I remember you posting this that you were taking. It was probably during the holidays that you said you were going off the grid. Basically, you were just focused on your kids and your fiance at home life, and you were gonna be gone for I don't know a week or 2 weeks, whatever it was. I was like, you know what? That's awesome. I love that. I love that because so many people have FOMO where it's the fear of missing out and they don't want to go off the grid because they're like, how about if I miss out on this opportunity?
Yeah.
What made you decide to do that? Was it during the holidays that you did that?
Yes, it was. It was literally through the holidays, because it's like time to me is everything, and I
Mm-hmm.
have two little girls, so like my priority is I don't want my daughters to have memories of mommy and daddy being too busy during the holidays, and it gets crazy because I've been there. I've worked like, man, the industry's crazy. There's literally no set hours. It's like I don't want to be that mom that was always working and
Yeah.
didn't have enough time, to be with the babies and stuff. And, that's really important to me. And another big thing was my health because I suffer from anxiety at times and I have autoimmune. So, like, I start flaring up when it gets too stressful because
Mm-hmm.
I might look like it's, but in the back end is very like it's stressful because you got to keep up with the files. There's so many things that you got to do, and also like I have clients that freak out, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
not only got to be a realtor, but you got to be like a voice of reason, calm, even though you're freaking out on the inside sometimes,
Yeah.
but I just had to because if I don't respect my time, nobody's gonna respect my time. So
Right.
like this is something new that I implemented actually. So I'm really happy we're talking about it. And that FOMO, I've never heard the FOMO term, but I'm gonna use it, girl, because I love it. And that's what I struggled with: failure of missing out. Like you wanna bite off more than you can chew, and
Mm-hmm.
you think that hey, if I'm not available, then they're not gonna roll with me. My philosophy, I said it wrong. My
That's okay.
philosophy now is that if people don't respect your time, it's okay because God's gonna bless you with two more. It's
Yeah.
okay. They gotta be mindful of your time too as a professional because you really just kill what you eat, and it's a blessing to be able to say, like, hey, I'm not gonna be available from this time to this time, and whoever doesn't like it, that's on them. That doesn't make me feel bad because at the end of the day, I am nobody's slave. I am not a robot. Like I too deserve time to unwind, and I honestly didn't know how to act with that time.
That's the next question I was gonna ask you. Like, were you able to stay away from your phone? Did you have to check on your phone? Were you going nuts? Did you stay away from your email?
No, girl, I was itching to get out there because when you're like, and I'm sure I know you're the same because you're
Hmm.
busy too all the time. It's like itching, like, what did I miss out? Like, okay, who hit me up? And it's like, girl, you need to chill. Like, I literally have a little angel right here and a little, not so angel over here saying, girl, you need to chill. And this one's saying, you need to check your emails. What if you missed out? Like, so mentally, I didn't know how to handle it, but I liked it if it makes sense. Like I felt like I needed it because
It's
I
time for you to
cannot
recharge.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can't be the best for my clients if I am burnt out, and that's what I was feeling. And
Yeah.
that's why I was like, nope. From this time to this time, I am not doing that.
Yeah,
So
you have to recharge. And I usually take the holidays off too. I give it to my employees off as well because especially the last week of the year. Depending it depends on when the dates fall because you know how sometimes New Year's falls a certain day. It can be probably 2 weeks that they'll be off. But I
yes.
usually try to take Christmas off because of that, because you need to recharge. And then I go into tax season and I want to be nice and refreshed and stuff like that. But many don't understand and they don't respect it. So with you in your industry, what did you send out like a mass email to your clients? No, you just
Well, the ones so usually all my clients, like, it's mandatory. I join Facebook, social media, you see it, I put it public. And if it's like a current file that I'm literally like I have to, it's not that so like for example, for somebody that was closing like right before,
mm-hmm.
the new year and stuff, I was like, hey, just an FYI, I'm going off the grid, but I'm still on top of your file. I will let them know personally. But for like the new intakes and people looking to start ASAP, like I was like, you know what? Let me just put this on here so they know ahead of time. I'll
Yeah.
get back to them January 3rd. So that's what I had to do because girl, I was finding myself like, oh my God, I need like the years before I need to jump on this while everybody's sleeping and on vacation mode. Not me. I'm gonna be keep on swimming like that. That was my mentality.
Yeah.
And that mentality caused me to burn out a little bit, and it's not fun.
No,
So,
it's not. It's not.
yeah.
Definitely. That's why, too, with me, after the week of April 15th, I take that off as well. But I have to, like, recently just sent out a mass email to all my clients. Although April 15th is the deadline with the IRS, you need to have your documents to me by April 1st. If you don't, you're going on extension and it's not going to be completed until the beginning of May. That's how I do it, because you have to train your clients how to respect your time, because if not, they will try to show up and send me, well, not show up, but download their stuff into our portal April 14th and expect for you to get it done by the 15th and be like, why not? I gave it to you on the 14th because you're not my only client. So, I tell people you have to train your clients to respect you how you want to be respected. And that's in
Yes.
any relationship. That's with friendships, that's in romantic relationships, and anything.
It's true. And what I learned this year, and I'm sure you, and I'm sure you can relate because it's kind of similar. Like real estate with the text, there's like busy seasons, slow
Yes.
seasons, so you have to adapt. But something that I learned recently is that it's okay to fire a client.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I had one of those. So I had one of those, and literally, it's like what they think is, as being an entrepreneur at that, they think that we work for them.
Mm-hmm.
We do not work for them. We represent you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this is not where you're my boss and I gotta ask for days off. That's the reason why we do what we do, because we get to coordinate our own schedule and do as we please, right?
Right.
I had a client that was not respecting me. She was getting disrespectful, and it was messing with my peace of mind. You know, I just came back from vacation and I'm dealing with them. And like, she was just being disrespectful, not following my lead, doing things that a client shouldn't be doing, right? And I just let her know. I let her know, look, I don't have to work with you. I don't work for you. I wish you the best. I am not the realtor for you. You know, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm probably tequila, and that's okay.
How
You
did
can
you
work for
feel?
yourself.
How did you feel when you let her go, though?
Refreshed.
Really?
I wanted to make room for people who respect my time, who
Mm-hmm.
truly get it, you know, and girl, I'm not gonna get disrespected.
Right.
When I work hard and I put you in position to win. This particular client, we went under contract. I found her a house, got her a deal. Literally, while in negotiation, she started with the disrespect, and I was like, "Mm-mm, this is not gonna happen. You're not gonna disrespect me." And it's sad to say, because it was over a handrail. That's a $20 fix.
So you walked away. Did she end up closing on that house, though?
She ended up reaching out to the listing agent. She ended up reaching out to the listing agent and try to mess with, whatever I had going on. But there's rules and regulations to that, because I
Mm-hmm.
brought a willing and ready buyer. If it wasn't for me, you would have never seen or found the property. So like, I knew my value. But at the end of the day, I just gave it to my managing broker and let her deal with it accordingly. But I walked out with peace of mind, because I'm not going to be dealing with that, because this client was one of those where it was a negative Nancy,
Yeah.
and it's like, I'm telling you, I got you. This is just be positive. And I get it. Some people are not wired that way. But just because you're feeling negative or for some reason, you're not going to make me feel like I need to be negative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to let that rub off on me, because I would rather let one problem go to make room for people who get it and they're just willing to learn, and that's what I did. And I walked off feeling, thank you, Jesus.
So you giving it to your managing broker, that you have to forfeit your commission then? No. Okay.
I got a little cut, but it's okay, because she can be the next agent's headache, not me. So, not me. Not me. I'm not the one.
That's good, because there's a lot of people who are afraid of that, because of course the money, everybody's like, okay, I got to put up with shit because this is what's going to make, put a meal on my table. And I get it, in the beginning it's hard to not want to take certain people because of
Yes.
that, but if you get people used to disrespecting you, you're going to hate what you do. You're going to despise it. You're not going to want to wake up in the morning and go to work and do what you have to do. So that's why I tell people,
Yeah.
don't allow it. Like, I made that mistake in the beginning, but making that mistake in the beginning was I was a sole breadwinner. So I had two mouths to feed and a fur baby to feed, and I had to make sure I dealt with shit. And
Yeah.
I refuse to do that now. I refuse to do it now. And one of my things is, now I have a support system that is, I know I can fall back on him if need be. So in your industry with that, I know you have your fiancé. It sounds like you guys are solid with being able to fall back on one another. Do you feel that support from him?
100%. I feel like him and I, it's just a blessing, like all my life I prayed for something like that. And with him and I, we look at each other as one. And it's like if I fall, he backs me up. He's the one who gives me like a sense of peace, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I can be like, oh my God, like, come upset and freaking out. And he gives me a level of calm. Like his name literally means peace. Literally,
What's his name again? I don't remember his name.
Shalom Adonai.
Shalom Adonai. But what is his ethnicity?
Puerto Rican.
So where did they get that name from?
His parents were pastors.
Okay, makes sense.
Name.
Okay.
Yes. So this man is a blessing because like he literally will be like, don't you snap because I'm quick.
Yeah.
And it is a blessing because he'll say, wait, calm down. Let's talk about it. Like he just brings me to, like a calm.
He balances you out. Mm-hmm.
Yes, because if it wasn't for him, especially being disrespected is like, no, I'm not the one. I promise you I'm not. I look really sweet, but when you start being disrespectful, because I need a man like him in my life.
Right.
And he has his own business. I have my own business too, but we literally work together and it's teamwork. Like teamwork makes the dream work. And I feel like I have that sense of support. Like I feel like he is my home. And when I have that and I have something like that, like you said, a support system behind me, what's to be scared of? I can't fail when I have a support system like that. It's on to the next, keep on going. Life goes on. But it's just a blessing to have somebody that's calm because the typical macho, right, is like,
yeah.
He's not like that. He's like, he's just not like that. I've never met anybody like him. And it's just, we've been together 10 years already.
Oh, wow. Congrats. Congrats. Yeah.
I'm going to faint over here talking about him. I need to chill out.
So do you have the date for your wedding?
No.
No?
No.
Oh my God.
Being in the industry that we're in, we're like, man, do we want a wedding or do we want a building? Like that's
True.
Literally what, because how much would a wedding be, right? Like I have a big family, he has a big family. So it's like we can sit there and drop $30,000 on a wedding for one day, look how cute, take pictures, or we can use that for something that's going to give us our money back and then some, right? So that I think is one of the biggest reasons why we haven't came up with a date yet. And another reason why is like, we're like, why don't we just get married at City Hall or just like go to Italy and have a really nice, family moment? Because to me, I feel like that would be better than dropping all this money on one day and I'm going to be...
Right. You can do something small and intimate, really cute.
Yeah. I think that's better. Something intimate, really small. But to drop all that, girl, I'd rather get another building. So
yeah. The mentality, right? I agree with you. I don't want so my current boyfriend, if I let him, we would have got married a long time ago. But mentally, I'm not there yet with that. He's an awesome person. Believe me, he's an awesome person. But I think we still have to go through certain things in life to be able to say, yes, we're going to get married. Do I see him being my husband in the future? Yeah. Oh, yeah. But he's never been legally married. He was in a relationship for a long time, but they never got married. So he wants that wedding. And I'm like, no, I don't want that because I don't like all that attention onto me. But he was like, I'm only doing it once and I want to go big, you know? And I'm like, no, I want this. I want this. And he was just like, no, let's celebrate. So we're just not seeing eye to eye with that. I was like, dude, we're not even engaged yet. But it's cute because usually the guys don't talk about stuff like that. Yeah,
No,
I think he'll be the groomzilla, and I'm gonna be the so nonchalant, just chilling.
that's good. It's like Crystal. I'm so happy for you deserve that, but like it's a blessing because you're not used to that, right? It's
Right.
like nachos. I be hearing horror stories, Janelle, where it's like my man will never do that. Like I don't know, I can't relate. You doing what now? Not mine, no. So it's so nice to just hear it because you got this glow about you where I'm so happy for you. Like, girl,
Thank
you are
you.
glowing.
Thank you.
And it's a blessing, like to hear this, and I can relate. It's like you would think that what do they call it? Like machoism or something? What's the
Machismo.
word? Machismo, right?
Mhm.
Like you see a lot of that, but like to find somebody that's not like that, somebody
Mhm.
who's sweet and wants to talk about a wedding,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Oh, believe me,
beautiful.
he has that. He has that in him. He does. But with me, it's like it's a little different. Um, and it was so funny because he lives in Chicago. And
No
yeah,
way.
he lives in Chicago, so it's a long distance relationship, but we never knew each other from Chicago. So we
Wow.
have quite a few people in common that, we know of or whatever, but we never knew each other, and he's from Humboldt Park, the hood. He grew up in that. Oh yeah, he grew up in that world or whatever, but he's completely different from now. He's a businessman, so we see eye to eye, we understand each other. So it's awesome. It's awesome, but I don't. Yeah, I'm bored with you on that with not having a big wedding.
It's like
But yeah,
how
it's
much?
yeah. So with getting, you said you rather put money towards property and stuff like that. I know you have quite a few, or one or two. I'm not too sure how many you have, but with someone that wants to get into buying a multi-unit, especially, what would you advise them?
I would advise that be their first purchase because number one, you're only putting 3.5 to 5% down, and you can use all the grants and all that stuff. Versus if you were to go with a single family home, you'll pay 3.5 to 5% down. But guess what? You have a light bulb and you go, I want to get a multi-unit. And some people, it's really hard to come up with a 15 to 20% down payment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I recommend. I recommend knocking it out the woods, finding something that needs little work but also livable, and just knocking it out because it's going to pay for itself if you do it the right way. Because right now we have three, and this is our house. We just bought it in April, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the multi-unit is paying for itself and paying for this mortgage. Like we are living for free, and that's what I recommend to everybody to do because God forbid anything happens, right? And this is part of why I'm very content, is that everything's gonna pay for itself, and I don't have to worry about having to
Right.
fish because I
Mm-hmm.
did it that way, and it's set up to win, and it's just building the equity. And I recommend 100% like doing it once, two times, three times in a lifetime because it can change your life. Like literally, there's nothing like having peace of mind when it comes to finances. Like a lot of people go crazy thinking about finances, and that peace of mind that we get, like, our properties are paying for itself, and it's paying for our house right now. It's priceless.
Yeah.
So
How
if you look at it,
Yeah. So how, you saying you have three, now you have yours, and the properties are paying for your own house. How did you get prepared to set yourself up for that to get to where you're at right now?
so made sure I stood on top of my credit. Credit is so important. You need to have at least a 640. I also made sure that, I was documenting my income. You got to document your income. And I
Mm-hmm.
made sure that I had a cushion, like a savings, because what you don't want to do is put everything into a multi unit,
Mm-hmm.
not knowing what you walk into afterwards. So that's
Right.
how we do it. And it's such a blessing because of my man's line of work. He fixes them. Buy them, he fixes them. So like, if it were just me alone, Janelle, let me tell you, I wouldn't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you picture me with drywall work and
No.
no, I would have been better off as a nurse.
Right.
A lot of that is just having somebody that you trust that's handy, like, that's gonna help you out because I'm not mowing the lawns. I'm not shoveling the snow.
Right.
Not me. So I think having like even like a brother or a family member that's close to you, that's handy, like, keep those people around because let me tell you, it makes everything easier because I've met so many people that they get into investments where a realtor's just trying to sell.
Yeah.
Next, there's foundational issues, there's termites, there's this, there's that. And how are you're gonna give back the house? You can't give back the house, the building, you gotta have somebody looking out
There's
for
not a
you.
return policy, Judy?
Like 30 days, right?
Right. I got my receipt.
And you throw the closing papers.
Right.
There you go. You don't work like that. So yeah, that's what I recommend. Like just making sure you either with us. One of the perks of working with us is that if you don't have somebody like that, my hubby is at your service.
That's nice.
Yes,
Does
because I've
you said
met
he has his own business too, right?
yes, it's called Need a Hand. Need a Hand
Need a hand.
LLC.
Oh, okay. So what
We
is it
came
that
up
he does then? He does everything with repairing?
everything we're repairing, maintenance, like shoveling, like, anything as far as like slight plumbing, painting, knocking down walls. Like this man is, I
So
feel like
does
there's
he have a
nothing,
crew himself that helps him? He does it by
it's just him.
himself?
It's him. And then sometimes he hires like a couple friends and stuff or
Mm-hmm.
his dad, but they have to be very like him because one thing about him though, he's nitpicky to the T. And if you don't know how to caulk,
Oh
then
yeah.
it's not going to work because he will literally be like, no, I don't like it.
That's
I've never met
good.
a man that, like, he's very detailed oriented. And one thing about him is that he would rather do it himself
Mm-hmm.
than hire somebody else to do it the wrong way. Like, that's just how this man is. And he's very meticulous in his work.
That's
So,
good though, because you don't find that all the time.
no.
And it's hard to find people that you can trust, especially when it comes to repairs and things like that. Like they'll come and
Yes.
take your money and then they do half-ass shit.
Yeah. Exactly, and run away
Mm-hmm.
with your money,
Mm-hmm.
and don't even come back. And then we had situations where people did that, and my fiance would come in, like for example, like somebody was trying to get a client of ours was trying to charge like triple what my hubby would charge like to paint a house, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how he works. He keeps it affordable. He offers like payment options and stuff like that. But it's just a blessing to see this man because he truly cares for people. Like I've
Right.
never met anybody like him. A client not too long ago had her house on fire, right?
Oh.
He went over there. Literally, it was like 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning. This man got up from his bed, went over there, like, and just to make sure they're good. And that's the type of heart that he has.
Oh
Like, it's not
wow.
just getting paid because
Yeah.
who does that, right? Like that has
Right.
nothing to do with him, but that's the value that he has because he generally looks out for people, and that's why God has blessed him so much because and blessed us,
Yeah.
and just seeing this man, he's just so selfless. Like he's too nice, but that's one of the qualities that I love about him versus where I'm like
You guys balance each other out. You balance
yeah,
you make sure they don't take advantage of him.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. That's how I'm more like you need to write that down.
Right.
Invoice. He's not like that.
So you guys have that team going on so people can get their investment property, and then he's the one that helps. That's awesome. That's awesome that you guys are working hand in hand with one another. I know not everybody has that opportunity that they have someone that's like that. But it's not for anyone to be discouraged about these multi-units because I see it all the time. Like I know that's my goal. I need a multi-unit because I say it was ripped from my hands. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay because it's gonna come. It's gonna be time. There's gonna be time for me to do it. Um, and I built my business, and then I got this house. I went through my divorce and I got the house, and then now either commercial property or it's going to be that multi-unit. And I always say I want to go back to Chicago and do it there. So of course you're the one I'm going to be calling. um so if anyone so we have two. It's going to be you and your husband. If anyone is looking for a real estate agent, where can they find you?
Facebook under Judi with an I. Judi sells houses. Or they can text me directly 773-367-6865, and we can help you whatever you need, whether it's buying, selling, investing. I even work with people who like to buy and flip. So whatever real estate goals you have, like, we're here to help.
And then if they want to hire your husband for something, I mean your fiance, where would they find him?
They will find him through me.
So are you working as his receptionist?
His number, like, it's so hilarious because literally his number would be the 773-367-2785. But get to me because I'm extremely responsive.
Yeah, you were really quick with responding with everything.
Girl, because he's so busy too, but he takes care of it. He knocks it right off, But if it's like I want to schedule something,
Yeah.
he'll jump on it. But like I love how this man works. Like there's not even
Yeah.
it.
And then is there any advice that you would want to give to someone that's starting off as a real estate agent?
Yes, I do. Don't stop. Just because you fail it once doesn't mean that it's a no. It's just a not now, and you better go and study 2, 3 more times harder and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
You fall 9 and you get back up 10 times. Like it's just keep doing it. Don't allow somebody else's failures or negativity or
Mm-hmm.
fears like affect your dreams. Like
That's
Janelle,
so
I had
true.
people tell me, like, that's not a real career.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I had somebody tell me that getting into real estate was for people who drop out, for people who don't got nothing going, for people who are not trying to get their degrees. Like, I've had people talk down, and you just gotta be like, tunnel vision. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm not gonna take advice from somebody that I don't want to be like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
So
I just
true.
kept
That is so true. Yeah.
nor criticism, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna take criticism from somebody I don't.
Yeah, it's so true. I think one of
That's
the
it.
things that I want to put in there when you're starting off in the real estate agents world, what I heard is that the financial world, you guys are getting your commissions and making this money, you're putting it away. You guys are independent contractors, and many fail to forget to pay taxes. So put money to the side for those taxes early on, get used to it. You're gonna take money out, put money away, so that way when it comes to tax time, you may have to pay back, and it's okay. Or start doing the quarterly estimates when it comes to paying your taxes. So a lot of people talk about that. You know it because you have your buildings and you need to show income as well, so you know that. And some people get
Oh,
into
girl,
business some people get into business and they just want to go ahead and write everything off, and it's like, so I just wanted to put that in there too, because not everybody talks about that. So we're running on time now. It goes pretty quick. This does go very quick. It goes very quick. I tell everybody, if you look at the episode or listen to the episode and you're like, man, I wanted to say this, I wanted to say that, just reach out, be like, you know what, this is a subject that I want to really touch on. Let's touch on this. So I'll bring you back on. Don't worry. But this was great. But before we go, the one thing that I always ask everyone is, do you feel successful?
I do. I feel whole. I feel successful. I feel like I'm in a place in life right now where I have no complaints.
Nice.
I just feel fulfillment, and I feel like I pray that whoever is watching this or hearing this is like, I pray that everyone feels the same, because there's nothing like peace of mind. And of course, I feel successful because of having this peace of mind, because there's nothing like it. It's priceless. So yes, and it's a blessing. Like, just to have that peace of mind. Like, to me, to have that peace of mind, that just means you're successful. There's different definitions of success, and it
Mm-hmm.
depends on everybody's situation.
That's
So,
awesome. I am so happy for you. And keep on with that whole positivity and that energy, because I feel your energy through Facebook all the time. I read it. I read it how your personality is. I swear to you.
and I'm like this. I swear to God, like, I'm just naturally like this. Like, I'll wake up in the morning, like.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And thank you for coming on and accepting. I know this is, I reached out to you just a few days ago. I'm like, oh my God, let me see if she can do it. And I'm so happy that you were able to come on and talk with us and share a little bit of your journey. But like I said, at any point you want to come back, just let me know. And hopefully we'll be able to work together so that way I could get my multi-unit in Chicago, because, But thank you so much for coming on. Thank you guys, everyone that has tuned in on any podcast, on YouTube, and anywhere you're listening to it. Thank you so much. Please like, share, review, and subscribe. Please review. Really reading those reviews so I can know what you guys want to listen to. But thank you. Till next time.